Hey guys, it's Lainey, and today I'm going to do a wrap-up video. Since I just joined the BookTube community in August, instead of just doing an August wrap-up, I'm going to do a summer wrap-up, where I'm going to wrap up to you all the books I read this summer. So, let's get started. So the first book I finished at the beginning of the summer was The Bet by Rachel Van Dyken. It was a new adult contemporary romance novel, so it was pretty straightforward when it comes to romance, and I mean, it's just a standalone novel, at least I think it is. It was pretty good. I would recommend it if you like new adult romances. The next book I finished at the beginning of the summer is Walking Disaster by Jamie McGuire, and I did get this when it was first released, but at the end of last semester I was getting like super busy with classes and stuff, so I'm like, unfortunately I gotta put this one aside. I liked it. I wish it didn't mirror Beautiful Disaster, to be honest, because I felt like there were some things she left out that should have been in there, and I think it's kind of hard when you already had set dialogue from the last novel, because I'm sure she went through and she realized that, oh, I wish I would have used this line instead of this line, but she can't really change it. There's a lot of summarizing in this. I mean, I loved being in Travis's head, don't get me wrong, but I mean, it was good for what it was. It was a good novel. The next book I finished also in the beginning of the summer was Insurgency by Prodigy. This is the enhanced collector's edition for the Kindle. I also have Divergent on my Kindle as well, but I finished this book. It took me a little bit longer to finish than Divergent, which I finished in like 2 days, but I mean, it was still good. I'm super excited to see Allegiant, or to read Allegiant, and yeah, what can I say? The next book I finished at the beginning of the summer was the second book in the Sweep series, The Coven, and this is by Kate Tiernan. This is a book series I was reading in 7th grade. Now I want to start rereading them. They got new covers for them, and they're a lot prettier than the first edition ones. So I've been slowly buying these. I got 1 through 5, so once I finish 5, then I'll get 6 through 11 or whatever, and then 12 through 15. And the story is about a girl named Morgan who, after a mysterious boy comes to her town, she discovers that she is a witch, and they kind of follow that throughout the series. So these books are very, very small. They have pretty big print, so it's very, very, very quick reads. I would recommend them if you're looking for a new series if it's kind of older. Because I read them when I was in 7th grade, so almost 10 years ago. But they are still young adult novels. The next book I read was Angel Fall by Susan E. And I also adore this new series, this book. It's quite awesome. I actually bought this book back in like March or something, or like even February. I was on a website where they were recommending books after you read The Hunger Games, which ones you would read, and this was one of them. But I just bought it. I didn't read it until the summer, and I'm pissed that I waited that long for this book. It's a great book. It follows a girl named Penrin, and she lives in a post-apocalyptic world where angels are taking control of Earth, basically, and we follow that. She is the protector of her family, and when her sister gets taken by the angels, she goes on a quest to find her, and also just a little bit of romance, and the little bit of romance is so well placed that makes us want more. So we know there's something there between the two main characters, but Susan E. won't let us fully have it. Now, in my upcoming releases video, I mentioned that I'm excited for the second book, but I did not have a cover for it today. It was released, and here is the cover for the new second book that comes out in November. The next book I read this summer was Kindle. Was Legend by Marie Lu. I read this very quickly. It's such a visual book. My poster's about to fall. It's totally going. Okay. So, Legend follows a girl named June and a boy named Day. It's a dual point of view story. I love this book. It was something fresh in the young adult fiction genre, so I was excited about it, and I know a lot of other people are really excited about this book. So after I finished reading Legend, you can pretty much guess what I read next. It was Prodigy, which is the second book in the series. I also read this one very quickly. This was my favorite one so far. I loved Prodigy. The second book is my favorite. So the ending, there's just, oh damn, these books are good. You have to read these books if you haven't already. The next book I read was Crush by Nicole Williams. This is the third book in the Crush trilogy, and I read these books, and they didn't have pretty covers because she was a self-published author, but it follows a girl named Lucy and Jude, and Jude's an extreme bad boy, but has he's good intentions, but he keeps getting in trouble with the law. He's been in and out of the foster system, and Lucy is the princess of high school. And the first book starts when they're in high school, and then by the third book they're all in college. So it's a really good series. Should read it if you like new adult romance novels. The next book I read is Enclave. Put a picture of it right here because they don't really have a pretty picture on the Kindle for it, and I did a review on this one. I will link it down below. I love this book. It's a good series I got into this year. The books came out, the first one came out in 2011. Now the final one's going to be out later this year, so I'm super excited for those books. And right after that I bought Outpost, but I didn't finish that till later. But the next book I read, now you guys are going to be familiar with these ones if you've been following me. I read The Testing by Joelle Charbonneau. I rated this one a 3 out of 5. It's almost too much like The Hunger Games to be its own great novel. It is going to be a trilogy. I will get the second one because I'm interested in the characters, even though the plot's pretty not as original. But the next book I read was Revolution 19 by Greg Rosenblum. I love this book. I rated it a 5 out of 5. I also did a review on this, and I will link that one as well below in the description box. And this one was great. I loved this. It was just, the world is just such a fresh world, and it's quite short, easy to get through. Characters you'll be attached to, you can relate to them. Great book. The next book I read was Partials. Also have a review for this on my channel. If you want to see it, I'll link it down below. I loved this book. I love the main character. She's someone that you can easily stand up for. I want her to be my friend. She's very sacrificial with her needs, putting other people in front of her, putting her species in front of her. She's a great character. It's a pretty big book, but it reads very quickly. The next book I read this summer is The Darkest Minds. I think this is easily my favorite book I read this summer, and I mean that. Even over Legend, which is saying a lot, or Prodigy, which is saying a lot. I talked about this book in its own book review. I'll link it down below. I can't wait for the second one. That's all I can say. All I can say about this series. And finally, the last book I have read and completed is Outpost. I'll put a picture right here. And yeah, I already filmed the Outpost book review, but I haven't edited it yet. I'll do that when I'm feeling less lazy. I'll post it soon, don't worry. I did take a slight 2.5 week break from reading Outpost because the middle got a little stale for me, but once I finished The Darkest Minds, I got right back into it. I read it really quick after I got over that small hump, and the ending, everything, the characters, it was all perfection. So yes, that is my summer wrap-up video. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day. I'll see you guys later. Bye.